Hare Krishna. There was a question asked about Sat. So let me read the question first and then try to address that. From the recording of verse 13, part 4, we learned that Sat Asat characterization of Baddhatma and Nityatma does not exist. Other words, they do not have the stage of Sat and Asat. We also know that soul is Sat, Chit, Ananda. The question is, the Sat in these two contexts, that is, the Sat that does not exist in the Baddhatma and Nityatma, and Sat that exists as a natural quality or a property of the Atma, or one and the same, or different. The short answer is they are different due to different context. But before getting into the details, I do want to bring up a point that if in that recording, if I had mentioned that Baddhatma does not have the stages of Sat and Asat, then I apologize. It is my mistake. The Baddhatma do go through the Sat and Asat stages. It is Muktaatma who does not go through the Sat and Asat stages. So a request is kindly let me know if I had made that mistake so I can correct it in the original recording. Thank you. Now, Sat Chit Ananda, the Sat over there refers to eternity, whereas Sat, which is referred in context of our discussion with verse 13, refers to the effect, karya, or being, to be. Asat is opposite of that which is not being. In other words, which is the cause of being is Asat, that is Karana. So during the destruction period, Pralaya stage, the Jeevatmas, Baddha Jeevatmas, are in Asat state with no names, no forms, nothing. It is just there in a dormant state. And that becomes the cause for coming into being with name, form, etc., which is what's called as Sat. Now, these two juggling between Sat and Asat due to creation and destruction only happens to the Baddhatma, the conditioned soul. But in the liberated state, for the Muktaatmas, this never happens because they have finished their karmas. They don't have to go through the repeated birth and death. Whereas Sat Chit Ananda, the Sat which is mentioned over there is eternity, which says that the Atma is eternal. The Prakriti is eternal. The Prakriti is considered lower compared to Atma, Jeevatma. Therefore, the quality of a Prakriti is Sat, which means it is eternal. Whereas higher than the Prakriti is Jeevatma, which has a Sat, eternity, plus also one more quality called Chit, knowledge, consciousness. And Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, has a third one called Ananda, bliss, complete bliss. which is absent in the Jeevatma in the conditioned state. When the Jeevatma is liberated, then the Jeevatma also gets the bliss of the Supreme Lord. Then it is completely in its natural position, Sat, Chit, Ananda. But in the conditioned state, the Jeevatma is Sat and Chit. It is eternal and knowledge as consciousness. That's all. Whereas the Prakriti doesn't even have consciousness, therefore it is Sat, only has eternity. I hope this addresses the question. Please let me know if any further clarification needed on this topic. Thank you. Hare Krishna.